Pull up a chair. The night is long and the stars are bright. Out there, in the endless dark, a story unfolds. A story about us and a tiny machine we sent on a grand adventure. We called it Voyager, not much bigger than a car, packed with our best ideas and brightest hopes. We gave it eyes to see, a golden record to speak for us, a message in a bottle tossed into the cosmic ocean. The year was 1977. We built 2 explorers, Voyager 1 and 2, and aimed them at the giants of our solar system, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, a grand tour made possible by a rare cosmic alignment. We seized the moment, launching our little ship on a pillar of fire, sending it away from home. Voyager was never meant to last this long. Its mission was to visit the gas giants, but it kept going. Powered by a decaying heart of plutonium, it drifted farther from the sun, becoming a silent wanderer. For decades, it sent back faint signals, whispers from the void, revealing worlds we'd only dreamed of. It was our eyes, our ears, our hands, reaching into the vast emptiness. More than a machine, Voyager became part of our collective story. It travelled on, through asteroid belts and radiation fields, past frozen moons and swirling storms. It carried the sounds of Earth, the laughter of a child, the cry of a whale, the music of Bach. A ghost ship, haunted by memories of a world it would never see again. It sailed toward the edge of everything we knew, to the heliopause, the boundary where the sun's influence ends. We listened, waiting for its final story. Voyager became a symbol of human curiosity and hope. It showed us that even the smallest among us can reach the stars. And so, the little ship kept going, carrying our message into the unknown. The story of Voyager is the story of us, always reaching, always wondering, and its journey is not yet over. Yet, the journey began with a roar, not from Voyager, but from the worlds it met. Jupiter, a king in clouds, its great red spot a storm larger than Earth. Moons like Io, a volcanic hell, and Europa, an icy world hiding a possible ocean. Voyager turned distant points of light into living worlds. Saturn, its rings revealed as countless icy particles, shaped by tiny shepherd moons. Titan, a moon with rivers and lakes of methane, a cold echo of Earth. Each postcard was more stunning than the last. Voyager 2 pressed on. Uranus, a sideways pale blue orb with faint rings and dark icy moons. Neptune, deep blue with the fastest winds in the solar system and a storm called the Great Dark Spot. Triton, its moon erupting with nitrogen geysers. With each flyby, Voyager rewrote our textbooks, showing a solar system more varied and beautiful than we imagined. Then its primary mission was over. Only one direction left out. The little ship had seen the giants and now it sailed for the edge. Its postcards changed from images to whispers. The real adventure was just beginning. After Neptune, there were no more worlds, only the long road into darkness. Voyager kept flying, its instruments measuring the unknown. It entered the heliosphere, the sun's protective bubble, and approached the edge. The solar wind slowed. The pressure from the galaxy grew. Signals grew faint, taking hours to reach us. The data was no longer about planets, but about invisible things, magnetic fields, cosmic rays, particle density. Voyager was our scout, reporting from the final shoreline of home. Scientists watched, waiting for the moment it would cross into interstellar space. In 2012, it happened. Voyager 1 crossed the boundary. Solar particles dropped, cosmic rays spiked. A human-made object had entered the space between stars. The data was cold, empty, filled with ancient radiation. The little ship kept whispering secrets across the void, but as it ventured deeper, the whispers began to change. Something was out there, something unexpected. Voyager's journey was no longer just about exploration. It was about discovery of the unknown and of ourselves. The edge of the solar system was not the end. It was a new beginning. The change was subtle. Anomalies in Voyager's faint, static-filled data. Scientists checked equipment, suspecting the aging craft was failing. But the anomalies grew, more frequent, more structured. Not random noise, but something organized. Buried in the telemetry was a faint, repeating pattern with no natural explanation. The mood shifted from nostalgia to unease, then silence. Voyager's signal stopped, abrupt, absolute. Weeks passed. The Deep Space Network listened, sent commands, but there was no reply. The world mourned the little ship lost in the dark. For nearly a year, nothing. The project was declared lost. Then on a quiet afternoon, a powerful burst of data lit up the screens. Voyager was back, but not with a gentle whisper. It was a shout, a single compressed packet of information. After that, silence forever. The final message was a mystery, a last will and testament from the edge. What had Voyager found? The answer would change everything. The silence was not the end, but the beginning of a new question. What waits for us in the dark? Voyager's last act was to send us a warning. The universe had answered, and we were not alone. The little ship's journey had become our own. We listened and we wondered. The story was far from over. The final message was brief, dense, a single burst that took weeks to decode. Voyager had stored its last energy for this one transmission, a death cry, a last testament. The message had two parts. First, a recording of vibrations through Voyager's hull. Not random impacts, but a deliberate repeating pattern, a code. Second, a single image. Voyager's cameras, long dormant, reactivated for one last picture. The image was grainy, distorted, but clear enough stars bent and warped, as if seen through an invisible lens. In the center, a perfect geometric void, a sphere of absolute black, blocking starlight. It was massive, silent just outside our solar system. Voyager hadn't just drifted into interstellar space, it had found something, or something had found it. The message was a warning. The little ship had stumbled upon a secret. The universe was not empty. There was something waiting in the dark, and it had noticed us. Scientists raced to understand the message. The tapping on Voyager's hull was artificial, a code. A linguist cracked it, a sequence of prime numbers, a universal mathematical hello. But then the pattern changed. 3 taps, then 1 over and over. 3, 1, 3, 1. It wasn't a greeting, it was a warning. The image and the pattern together told a story. The sphere was not natural. It was a construct, a shell or a cage. The 3-1 pattern was a ratio, a filter. For every 4 civilizations that reached Voyager's level, only 1 passed. The others were contained. The sphere was a checkpoint, a guard post. Voyager had rung the doorbell. The tapping was the automated reply. These are the rules. The numbers were clear, the message chilling. The universe was not silent by accident, the silence was enforced. We had found the great filter, and now it had found us. The story of Voyager was no longer just about exploration, it was about survival. The rules of the neighborhood had been revealed, and we had been noticed. Astronomers have long wondered if life is common. Where is everybody? The great filter theory suggests a barrier that few civilizations pass. Voyager's message revealed the filter was not natural but imposed, a deliberate act. The dark sphere waits for civilizations to announce themselves, then judges. 3 are contained, 1 passes. The criteria are unknown. This discovery changed everything but could not be shared with the public. A secret council debated, do we communicate, hide or fight? Silence felt like cowardice speaking, like suicide. The stars, once symbols of hope, now seemed like the bars of a cage. The solar system became a sunlit prison. The silence from the universe was not loneliness, it was fear. The neighbors were quiet for a reason, and now we understood why. So here we are under the stars, knowing the sentinel waits in the dark. Our message in a bottle was answered not with a greeting but with a rule book. It's a heavy secret, redefining our place in the universe. We are candidates being tested, unsure of the questions. Perhaps the filter is a challenge, not a death sentence. 1 in 4 pass. The odds are not impossible. Maybe the filter selects for wisdom, compassion, restraint. This knowledge forces us to look inward. If we are to be the 1 in 4, we must be worthy. The journey to the stars begins here in our hearts and minds. We have fallen silent, no longer shouting into the void. We listen, we watch, we work to build a world that might be worthy. The dream of space is still alive, but it is quieter, more humble. Voyager's final message was not an end, but a beginning. It gave us a reason to be better, to fill our world with a silence born of wisdom, peace and hope. The hope that one day we will be ready to pass the test. And when we do, the stars will be waiting.